Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Feel It to Heal It podcast. I'm about to hop on Instagram and we're going to be talking all about a very important topic today. So let's hop on the Instagram land. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Afternoon Tea Live, coming to you live from San Diego, California. So this morning I needed to sleep in, so we switched it from Morning Tea Live to Afternoon Tea Live. So today I'm so excited to be talking to you about such an important topic, which is focusing on you. So today I'm going to be going through a little bit of a training of how I anchor home to myself and how you can create anchors that anchor you back home to you when you are distracted and losing focus and you're wondering, well, where did the whole day go? Why did I just spend my whole day doing God knows what rather than actually creating a life beyond my wildest dreams and being deeply present and connected in my own life? So why does it feel difficult to actually focus on ourselves? Well, the first reason is, you guessed it, a dysregulated nervous system in survival mode. We are so conditioned to have our safety be focused on other people. Like we feel safe when we're focusing on the other. This could be our family. This could be our partner. This could be our friend. This could be our coworker. This could be on our animals. It could literally be on anything that takes us away from ourselves. Because what happens if we actually go all in on focusing on ourselves? We have to face ourselves. We have to face all of the parts of ourselves that we have been avoiding since childhood because our nervous systems have not felt safe to actually come into relationship with those parts. So when we actually focus on ourselves, we're making ourselves the most important priority. It's going to feel unsafe. It's going to feel like, wait, is it okay to not respond to that person right away? Is it okay to not say yes to that invitation I got? Is it okay to let my loved one go through this awful thing they're going through without me, being there 24/7 with them? Like it's releasing that control. And it's coming back to ourselves. And that can feel really scary because this goes back to attachment wounding. The way that I work is rewiring the nervous system by healing your attachment wounding. So back in childhood, your attachment wounding wired your nervous system to feel safe, to focus on that attachment figure. Because again, if mom or dad or caregiver was not okay, you did not feel okay. And so if they wanted you to do something and you didn't want to do it, well, as a child, you're going to choose to do it because, again, making the parent happy or making them approve of you was the most important thing. And so, again, it felt safer to abandon your own authentic feelings or needs or desires because as a child, you had to prioritize the attachment figure and what they wanted because they were the people taking care of you. So it all makes sense. But the tricky part is now that we're adults, you grow up and you still prioritize everyone else. You still act like people will not be okay without you because you learn to be the caretaker for everyone or the person that supports them in various different ways. And so again, just normalizing that when you first start to refocus on yourself, which doesn't mean you're never going to help someone or connect with someone. No, that's quite the opposite. It's making sure that you are prioritizing you, filling up your cup so that you can show up in relationships and connections from a place of fullness and desire rather than this place of I need to feel needed or I need to feel like they're okay with me, because that's again coming from that attachment wounding. Oh my God, Luna's knocking over my phone. She still has her cone on from surgery, so she's very like all over the place. Okay, Luna, we're gonna have to, here, I'll move you guys over here. So yeah, so it's not going to feel safe. It's not going to feel comfortable, and that's okay. But here's how we're going to do it. Every time you have a free moment in your day and you're like, what do I do with myself? Right? Like, do I do I answer this person? Do I do this? Like, we need to create that structure for ourselves, especially if you're an entrepreneur. But even if you're not, if you come home from a 9 to 5 and you're at home and you're like just laying on the couch doing nothing, okay, maybe you need to do nothing, right? But the whole point is that our daily actions and the daily way that we spend time and energy creates our lives. So we want to make intentional space for rest, for doing nothing, for just being, for being present. And we want to make space for discipline and structure. So the thing that I had one of my clients do this past week that they found very helpful was writing down a list of anchors. And I have this list written on my bathroom mirror. Like when I am just kind of like la da 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 da, and I feel myself being unfocused, or maybe I'm focusing too much on someone else, or I'm just focusing on my mind is ruminating, like whatever is going on. It's literally like you have to become the director of your life and you have to redirect, redirect, redirect. So what that looks like is maybe you're losing focus and you start scrolling mindlessly and you're like, okay, I need to redirect. You have this list of anchors. So the anchors are simply things that feel aligned to be using your time and energy for. So for example, you want to, this client that I helped develop this list with, he's growing a business. So in his free time, he wants to be able to use that time to focus on his business rather than doing unaligned behaviors like addictive behaviors, TV, drinking, porn, sex, whatever. So again, doesn't mean we're never gonna have a drink or we're never gonna have sex. It's noticing where are you using things to distract away from yourself. So I have a very powerful example. Recently, I had someone from my past come back and was like wanting to just go down behaviors from the past. And I was like, where is this coming from? And the old me would have easily given into that of like, oh my God, this person's giving me attention. Oh my God, my inner child loves this validation. Oh my God, all this stuff. And um it was so empowering to just be like, oh wait, like I don't actually want to be uh like spending my time in this way with this person, and I don't need this attention, right? Like I get to just focus on me and focus on my life. And that felt so empowering. So whether it's attention through men or whatever gender you're attracted to, through just people like that you can just talk to, like we lose ourselves in dating, we lose ourselves in relationships, we lose ourselves to just addicted to chaos and drama, like anything that distracts us away from ourselves. So you write out a list of things that are in alignment. So for example, focusing on business, moving your body. So I'll give you my list. So right now my 2 anchors are health and business. So it's basically like my health, all areas of health, and my sole purpose. So every day I want to move the needle forward towards those 2 things. So what does that look like? It looks like every day I'm having these certain anchors where every day I want to do my daily habits, which is my meditation, chanting, journaling. That goes towards my emotional health, my nervous system health. Every day I want to eat nourishing things, putting nourishing things in my body, like this delicious tea, peppermint tea. I want to move my body. I just did yoga, right? So every anchor is going to contribute towards those 2 main goals. So every day, if I know that I'm moving my body, I'm putting nourishing things, I'm doing meditation and chanting and journaling, doing things for my nervous system. And then I'm also doing things for my business. Like this live is for my business, right? My business is educating and teaching people about how the nervous system works and helping you heal your nervous system, process your trauma so you can create a life beyond your wildest dreams. 444, which is my angel number. And so doing this live and teaching you guys about this and inviting you into doing this work with me is for my business, right? So this would be an intentional use of my time. Now, after this, I'm going to have a healthy meal because it is time to eat again. Like it's just being intentional. And then I'll have some downtime where maybe I'll read, maybe I'll just lay in the sun, maybe I'll do absolutely nothing. So the point is that you can have the flexibility and the spaciousness as long as you are also anchoring home to the things you need to be doing for yourself to move the needle forward. And people think that discipline means that you're never going to have free time. It's quite the opposite. When you create structure and discipline and you're like, okay, I've done my movement for today. I've done my Instagram post for my business. I've moved my body. I've eaten the nutritious things. I've done my MCJ and I've done the anchors that I need to do. And so anything I do, anything else I feel called to do would just be extra, right? Great. Let's move the needle forward more. But what am I needing? Maybe I'm needing rest. Maybe I'm needing slowness. And so then I'm going to come back to the things that I can do for rest. And I even have those listed out. So for example, my old idea of rest would be binging TV. And then I learned that's not actually rest. That's actually very dysregulating for your nervous system because it disconnects you from you. Shocker. Our whole society is designed to disconnect us from ourselves. So a lot of things that we do, watching TV, drinking, consuming something like scrolling, porn, like whatever, it disconnects us from ourselves. So we have to be very intentional about the energy in which we're relating to that thing. So it's all about really focusing on how do you want to use your time and energy? Where am I avoiding myself and why? Because it doesn't feel safe to be with yourself. And this is the importance of doing this work and learning how to build that secure attachment with yourself is I am safe to focus on me. It doesn't always feel safe, like we talked about. So it's a daily practice of tuning out the noise, tuning out the distractions, and focusing. And again, in my day-to-day, this is what it looks like. My brain going off to da da da, thinking about like something not important. Oh, refocus. Or like, oh, I'm like just kind of lollygagging. I'm just laying around. Da, da, da. Oh, refocus. And it doesn't have to be like rigid in the sense where you feel like you're just like disciplining yourself so hard. It gets to allow this spaciousness for ease and flow, and it gets to feel really, really good. Hi, Gigi. Thanks for joining. So it's again having that structure for the nervous system, which provides the spaciousness for the flow. So you guys may have heard the term divine masculine, divine feminine. I don't really love using the genders because it just confuses people and they think it has to do with genders and it literally has nothing to do with your gender. It just has to do with structure and flow. Structure and flow. So I want you guys to look at where are you not feeling safe to focus on you? What is your inner child afraid will happen if you don't focus on you? Where does it feel safer to be engaged in drama, chaos, trauma, consuming yourself with other things that are not in this present moment? And where can you refocus on you and what you actually need to be doing for yourself? And what does your inner child need to feel safe to do that? Maybe they need to know from you that they're not going to be abandoned. Maybe they're not going to lose people, or maybe they will. And if they lose people because they're focusing on themselves, maybe those people are not in alignment to begin with, right? So I want you to write out a list of anchors. So my anchors for rest is not TV, but actual laying down on my PEMF higher dose mat, listening to sound baths, closing my eyes, putting my hands on my body, taking a nap, laying in the sun, just doing nothing. Like I'll just sit on my porch and just like sit and breathe, going to bed early, chanting, meditation, journaling helps put my nervous system in that rest and digest space, taking big, deep belly breaths, all those things anchor me to rest. And then I have anchors for movement, dance classes, yoga, weight training, walks. So again, it's whatever I'm needing, whether it's movement, whether it's, I have a list for nourishing foods, right? I have a list of like, I have my anchors listed out. So whatever I'm needing in that moment, am I needing movement? Am I needing rest? Am I needing to focus on business? Am I needing just like connection time and who are people that are in alignment to connect with? It's like you're learning how to be your own parent and guiding your nervous system so that you become the leader of your nervous system rather than your nervous system and your inner child and your trauma unconsciously running your show, running your show, running the show, running your life, where you're just unconsciously, non-intentionally spending energy, la, 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 la. And then you're like, oh, I did nothing today. Again, maybe you intentionally want to do nothing today because you just want to rest. That's okay. As long as it's intentional. Intentionality with your time and energy creates your life. Healing your attachment wounding so you feel safe to focus on you is literally the key to expansion and creating a life beyond your wildest dreams. If every single person felt safe to focus on themselves, we would not be living in a world that prioritizes money, land, whatever the fuck people are fighting over and killing each other for. Like, we would not be prioritizing that. That is disconnection. War, crime, violence, hate is all disconnection from thyself. When we connect to ourselves, we are able to connect with others. When we are disconnected from ourselves, we are then projecting that disconnection, that fear, that inner child trauma onto other people. Like the fact that we live in a world where there are horrific things happening as we speak, there's no reason for that. Literally no reason to justify that. It is unacceptable. It is not okay. And if every single one of us commits to focusing on ourselves, this is how we heal the world. I know it might sound selfish or opposite of like, no, I have to focus on them to help them. You can help people when you fill up your own cup. As cliche as it sounds, you have to fill up your own cup before you can help others. That is the most selfless, helpful thing you can do. So I'd love to hear in the comments how you are going to refocus on you. Notice when your mind drifts off or when your energy starts getting all leaky. Refocus, 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 refocus. It's just a skill. It takes repetition to rewire the lack of focus, the lack of safety and focusing on yourself to feeling safe to focus on you and creating your life. So I'd love to hear in the comments, how are you going to focus? What is your anchor list? Like, what are you putting on there? Things that are intentional to use your time and energy for that connect you home to you. And you know the difference energetically when you're doing something that connects you home to you. When I'm chanting and singing or dancing or moving my body or whatever it is, I feel so much more connected to myself. When I'm watching TV or scrolling or, just distracting myself with people that are not in alignment, I'm not focused and I feel disconnected. So note and observe and get curious around the things that help you feel connected versus the things that disconnect you, and do more of the things that connect you. It literally gets to be that simple. Notice any resistance that comes up around it and DM me if you need help with this, because this is my jam, helping you connect home to you, process that attachment wounding so you can build secure attachment and feel more deeply connected to yourself and others. It is literally the greatest gift. I have some one-on-one spots open. I have a 3-month package, 6-month package for private coaching, as well as my Beyond Your Wildest Dreams membership, which is weekly live trainings and so many other ways to work with me, but those are the main two. So DM me or head to link in bio to learn more. I would love to support you in healing your attachment wounding so we can rewire that nervous system out of survival mode. All right, I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. Mwah.